$20.99. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome back. Do you think Sasquatch will be buffed in some way? I think you could always expect when a new card releases and it is shown to be bad, it could possibly get changed. Like we saw with US Agent. That is very much a feature, it is not a bug. I think Quantum Tunnel kind of sucks for us. Nocturne that one away next turn, I think. Snap. It looks alright. I'll stab it. Thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. And this turn here kind of highlights some of the awkwardness that Sasquatch brings to the table. So, like, I need to beast this turn in order to set up Sasquatch for the last turn. And because I need to beast this turn, it means that my bishop's gonna miss out on some points here. Nidavellir is interesting and maybe bad, because I would wager they're a Shang-Chi deck. Usually these Craven decks exist purely on the back of Shang-Chi getting them wins. As a hub X23 there. Oh, that's interesting. Kinda. I could copy Squatch. We could copy Squatch and boldly declare they can't Shang us everywhere, yes? This makes my copied Squatch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 next turn, but it costing 1 isn't actually relevant, yeah? Based on things I could draw? I don't think so. It's also worth noting, I want you to imagine for a second that this Sasquatch is Hitmonkey here. If this Sasquatch had been Hitmonkey, I would have gotten a... If this Sasquatch had been Hitmonkey, I would have gotten, I'm sorry, I'm searching for. If the Sasquatch had been Hitmonkey, I would have gotten a 1, 2, 3, 4. This would have been 8. I could have played this to make it 10, and then this would be significantly bigger than 10. They have a Red Hulk in their hand. Which means I actually do get a little punished for not playing Dagger last turn because I can't play. I actually don't want to play the Demon because it makes the Red Hulk bigger. The Red Hulk's currently 13. If I do this, it gets me to 16 here, which is bigger than 15. Was it 17? With the second time it triggered? I genuinely don't know, chat. Is it 17? We're gonna have a tried and true classic played around, what's it called, and then lose the other?
Victory.
All right, so despite, and this is one of those things where I want you to, when you hear people talk about Sasquatch, I want you to think about how often when you ask why it's good, they just tell you their win rate, right? Because, like, I think this is a good, clean game of an example where, like, Sasquatch was fine, and we won the game, but it would have been better if it was Hitmonkey. And there's so many options in most of these decks. The question people aren't answering enough of the time is, is it slot optimal? The question you need to ask yourself is not, did this deck win games or was it good? It's, was this card the best card in the slot that it's in? When we have lost to Spider-Man went middle. Spider-Man only swings to locations where he can move your cards to, given that's an option. So Spider-Man could not swing middle moving nothing there. That is not how the card works. If the opponent played Shang first. If the opponent played Shang first, Spider-Man would have pulled a card along with it into the center. But we have priority here. So I could do this, into this, this. This gives me 3 back in my hand. I should Iceman, then Nocturne. So Iceman can live. And then I'm getting a demon in my hand, plus these 3 is 4, so we can snap this. So, Sanctum Sanctorum, I think, is actually bad for us because they have more movers than we do, yeah? Alright, chat. It's the free Squatch the legends foretold of. Come to me, children, sit on Papa's lap and let me tell you the tale of the free Squatch. Squatch! God damn it, Nico. Oh, wait, I miscounted and the demon's not coming back to my hand. And then, unironically, we can't... We also, and again, like, this is, again, like, everything went right. Sasquatch is free, always dead 100% of the time. Always dead. Their Nocturne moves to here, they play something else here, the Red Hulk gets bigger, whatever they play gets bigger.
Escaped.
Their Nocturne turns to bar with no name every time. That would be the out. If we were all in, that was the out. Tried U.S. Agent and Bounce. I've done. I assume it's perfectly fine. Maybe even good. Maybe even good. I actually think the amount of hype other content creators have generated around Sasquatch makes me think it's incredibly unlikely that the card gets a buff. Like, so many people are on the this card is the best thing since sliced bread, playing it in their cookie cutter existing best decks. Unironically, Burgle, I think playing Morph as a Mockingbird enabler is actually kind of clutch. Is this snappable? I don't know that my cards are actually good enough for this to be snappable is the problem.
Oh, snap.
I mean, yeah, like what, like our hand here is like good as far as the hands our deck can generate. But I actually don't know if like good for the hands our deck can generate means actually good. Oh no, they played Call Obsidian! Nice. Sometimes lucky with their Craven here, at least. Ooh, like Hollis is good for us, too. They're a Red Hulk deck, so I think I'm playing Bishop. And how big is this? This is 16, 19, plus 15, 34, plus 8, 42. I think I just play to beat their Red Hulk in other places. This puts me plus 13, plus 17 to 30, minus 5 is 25. The Red Hulk hasn't popped up at all yet this game, yeah? Oh, I forgot about their Nocturne moving. Plus a little bit of a jump scare. Alright, I just need my Nocturne not to choose violence then. Cool. So again, I won the game, and Sasquatch was cheap here. But if Sasquatch had been Hitmonkey, we would have had more points to put into play. And I think this is the biggest thing that is getting lost in the churn about the discussion about this card from people hyping it up. Is I want to make it abundantly clear, I am not saying you can't win games with this or even have a good win rate with it. What I am saying is that in my experience, every deck I've played with Sasquatch so far, I look at it and I'm like, man, even in the games where we've been winning, it's just worse than the other cards I could be playing. And I think that is the biggest skill that so many people in the Marvel Snap community lack, is that when you ask people whether or not a card is good or bad, they are incapable of separating, I won with a card, ergo it's good, or I lost with a card, ergo it's bad. And that just really couldn't be further from good card evaluation. There are plenty of times where you hit a bad run with something good and it's worth working on more, and there are plenty of times where you have a good run with something and you're like, man, this really wasn't worth playing, these other cards would have been better. Yeah, was Sage bigger there too? I actually didn't count. There's a chance Sage was bigger there too, yes. Citavalier, a hot location for this conquest. Only for me. For everybody else that is not. Nidavellir is showing up a bunch because I'm playing a deck that's pretty good against Shang-Chi, so this is showing up so it can make me worse into Shang-Chi. I'm lucky. Now it's this into all of these Angela Falcon, yeah? Beast is a good draw. They definitely messed up by not playing Kitty into their Silk Path, yeah? It's just wrong not to do that. We'll have Nico destroy Kitty because it lets me make a Nico eating Maria Hill reference, which everybody loves. And then this gives us a real solid chance to have Sasquatch at the end of the game here. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Squatch is gonna be completely free here. We are gonna have a free Squatch, says local man, about to have Sasquatch be the bottom card of his deck. It'll be free at the bottom of your deck, yep. Unironically, Doctor Strange might be insane. BT dubs. This Doctor Strange might actually be correct. I actually think Maria Hill is up there on the list of cards that are currently very underrated in this game. There's so many good 2 energy cards. It's also very possible here that I'm supposed to leave the bishop where he's at so I can play for all 3 locations, yeah? This is plus 8 over here up to 14. Odds they shake bishop. Non-zero. This is plus 7, plus 11 over here up to 19. This beats Red Hulk plus Nocturne. Oh, you know what? It loses to, I think it's this, so that way we beat Red Hulk Nocturne here plus Silk Swinging, right? Oh, I didn't count Red Hulk on the left. Are we good? We're good even if Silk goes here, yeah? Yeah, okay. Okay! That was a game that I don't think non-Sasquatch cards do that for. I think that might actually be my first legitimate, okay, Sasquatch did a thing here. I think that's the first, okay, he did a thing. That's our first, like, all right. Have some adverts. We'll be back with some more of this deck when we return. Thanks for hanging out, Don't Go Anywhere. She did the thing. How do you submit a deck? On days where I'm taking deck submissions, you can use the Stream Elements link. It'll be pinned above the chat. I am not currently taking deck submissions today. So, Squatch is portrayed as both male and female in the Marvel Universe, is my understanding, with the white Sasquatch being canon female. So to add extra confusion, I assume there will eventually be Sasquatch variants in different colors that are technically male. I bet for $50, Jeff is taking deck submissions. That's true. 100% of the time, I will stop whatever else I'm doing and play your deck for $50. Deck submission days are discount deck submission days. What could you sub Nocturne for? You can check out my tier list video where I give reasonable and common substitutions for Series 4 and 5 cards like Nocturne that aren't necessary in most decks. What in the world prompted the demon response from that person? So the Hoaglandia lore behind the demon response was They came in here and for their very first message, they were complaining that Marvel Snap Spotlight variants were rigged against them. So we appropriately made fun of them for not understanding statistics and being bad with their resources. And then they got really mad about being made fun of for being bad at statistics and not using their resources well. And threatened to sick their demons on us. Destroys a not impossible matchup for bounce decks like this, but definitely a harder one. It is at least beneficial that we don't have that many things that die to Killmonger. And we did. Getting a copy of their Null is definitely beneficial. That is not great for us, gamers. Demon in my hand, Maria Hill card in my hand, bounce these 3 back to my hand, and then I can't play... Oh wait, Maria Hill doesn't make a card here, which is actually perfect because of the Cosmo, because I'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can still draw Sasquatch next turn. So the Cosmo's helping us out here. We just need this to not generate a card when it changes.
What a game!
I'm not in a position to beat Killmonger, right?
Opponent snapped.
I think if I stay, this is the line. Though. It's like loses to a death. And that's the exhausting part of Infinite Conquest. You hit a matchup that's kinda hard, so you take a risk. And you lose a flip. And you call it a day. And you spent an entire hour playing this thing and you feel like you have nothing at the end of it. It's definitely the most exhausting way to play Marvel Snap. I hate myself, so we're gonna fire back up and spend another ticket here, but there's a very, very real chance I should just set these tickets on fire. Oh, I actually missed it. Tainted Doc just sent to the deck list. All right, I guess we're done playing Sasquatch then. Thank you for the big tip. Oh, it's actually a different version of Bounce Squatch. Sure. Spy, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thank you for the absurd degree of support, Tainted Doc. I think I'm just doing nothing. Ah, Crimson Cosmos. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, alright. Sometimes lucky, rubber ducky.
Enough said, bub. What a game!
I usually play Bast instead of Squatch. Yeah, that makes sense, Tainted Doc. And honestly, I think we talked about that earlier. One of the bigger drawbacks of putting this card in your deck is the fact that it means you can't reasonably play. You can't reasonably play Bast. Although, it is also noteworthy that one of the upsides to not playing Bast is like I was playing Nocturne in the previous build is a real upside at least. And then this is the other side of Sasquatch slash Bounce in general being kind of in a mediocre spot is that, like, even in the games where you get to Sasquatch, right? Like, the number that we're making this game, even with a free Sasquatch, is not remotely competitive into the massive number my opponent's linear deck that's also interactive with us is making. And I really think that point's important. That's another one that people are like, they're like, okay, well, like, what is your enabler? Can you make it cheap? It's like, yeah, you can make it cheap, but in a lot of the games where you make it cheap, like, Bounce as a deck hasn't been super competitive in Marvel Snap in a while because the other linear decks in the format have kind of moved past it. Snap this before they find out if Diablo Space is killing it or not. Our draw is good here, that is accurate. Hopefully we can win this coin flip. Never been lucky in my life before, why would I start now, gamers? I think it's this, and then we like hit Monkey Beast here next turn. I don't think I want to bounce Snowguard. If I do this, Kitty comes back, 2 Snowguard cards come back up to 5. I drop to 6. I play hit Monkey Beast, and then I pick up 1, 2, 3 after playing down to 4. So I'd miss my last draw this way, but I guess it does make Collector better. It makes Hit Monkey better. All right, I talked myself into this line. It's also, again, talking about part of the issues with Sasquatch is that when you play Hitmonkey or Sage in this deck, you often want to do this Hitmonkey Beast line on turn 5. And when you Hitmonkey Beast on turn 5, it means your Sasquatch the next turn sucks shit, yeah? And I think this is right. I think I'm just supposed to pretend this card doesn't exist for me, and we're just not going to play it out next turn. I'm just going to play a variety of other cards out that will end up being bigger and better.
Opponent snapped.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to 10. And then I'm getting another 10. I'm going to 20 here on the right. And the Hitmonkey is 2, 4, 6, 12 here in the middle. And then on the left, I'm gaining 6. And then unfortunately, they played hard for 2. So we're probably dead. Or did I count wrong? No, we got 2 more coming here still. Need 9 here while having more here. No, we're cool. They put Shang-Chi and Death into the same location.
Victory.
Cool. I'm glad. And this is another one. And this is talking about things where people focus on the results instead of focusing on the process. Like, sure, this is a game where I won with Sasquatch in my deck, but not only was Sasquatch not worth playing, but my opponent made an incredible mistake at the same time, putting these 2 cards in the same path. Whenever you ask someone whether or not something is good, and all they can do is tell you their record with the deck or the card or whatever it is, that should be your #1 sign that they don't understand how to evaluate things properly. The only way to use data like that to objectively measure a card is when you have significant sample sizes. And our current significant sample sizes for Sasquatch have it being oh look, it's performing a little bit better. This was as low as 0.3 last night. It was up to 0.5, down to 0.4, back up to 0.5. Like it's being played in serviceable decks. But actually, I tweeted this out last night. So far, it's definitely looking like my early take of Sasquatch will be the worst card to release this season is likely to be true. I was actually a little surprised when I saw this how strong Nomura is. I knew she was playable, but like, these are really good metrics. Like 0.15 on average for a card is quite strong. And then obviously Nocturne is great. She's an absolute banger. Like Jeff style card. I think the TLDR on bounce, stop being competitive archetype when Hitmonkey nerfed to 3 energy. Before that, Hitmonkey was regularly 12 plus power. Lets you compete with linear decks, and else's original text gave bounce some hope. I think it's a mixture, Duck. I think it's not only did the obvious direct nerfs hurt bounce, but also like buffs to other archetypes. Decks like Hela gained new cards that added consistency so they can make big numbers more regularly than you. Professor X became more popular. Clutter cards like White Widow, Debris, and Nihilus also make your life hard. I think it was both the direct changes, but also the metagame consideration of things that are hostile to you. Speaking of things that can be hostile, chat, not being able to communicate with the people around you can lead to some unnecessary hostility sometimes. So if you've always thought, I want to be a better communicator, why not learn a new language? Check out our sponsor for the next couple of weeks, Babbel. You can get a 60 up to a 67% discount on your subscription with them by using my link there in the chat. And if you want something that'll be extra fun, at the very end of the stream today, I am going to be doing some of their language learning lessons live on stream.
Got him.
What language? We're going to do some Spanish, because I think that is the one that is most likely to be relevant to my day-to-day life. Free collector off the Triskelion. Snap that one back, baby. Professor X's pull 2. Trolling Panda, thank you for the 19 months. Welcome back.
Wind, aid my hand.
You get a tingle that tells you which opponents are toxic or which one are. I'm not new to the internet, so I just assume most of my opponents are toxic. In general, I always mute everyone when I snap them back, because people really don't understand that you don't necessarily win every game that you snap, and they tend to people on average emote spam more aggressively when they win a game or you retreat a game where you snapped. And I'd rather just not experience that. It's a deeply negative experience.
It's clobbering time.
Well, kind of flooded, but also not. Yes, there are a lot of people who view getting snapped as a personal offense, like you were insulting their ability to play the game. Is Kitty about to move mid? She is, yes. Oh. Yeah, I guess it's better if we don't do that, right? I could do this into this into this. Good shout. Making Kitty cost 1 is beneficial. I want to prefix with what I'm about to say with I mean it in the least insulting way possible. That being said, I'm sure there's maybe I just shouldn't say it. I think it needs to be said. So what's amusing to me every time I play Infinite Conquest is just how many inexperienced opponents we run into. And what do I mean by that? I mean, we've played 5 or 6 matches of Infinite Conquest this morning. And so far, on average, not even on average, if you go back and count it, I think over half of the people we played have been lower collection level opponents. Sorry, I need to count Matthew really quick. This is 9, and then Demon is 7, 9, 18, 21. So I do need to put another thing here. And I think we put the Squatch over here, and then we just count on this being enough in the middle. And I think that's another, like, a lot of times you'll see people post or people take Infinite Conquest decks to mean like, oh, this one Infinite Conquest, so it's good. But it's like, well, you did win it. But, like, a lot of your opponents were people that aren't very experienced Marvel Snappers. Because there's no collection level base matchmaking in this tournament mode. Yeah, I mean, our deck got to do stuff this game. I was about to say Sasquatch was fine, but the Sasquatch was actually worse than Hitmonkey again, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hitmonkey would have been 12. And how big would Sage have been? Sage would have been 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Sage would have been the same. Oh, I played Angela as well. So, like, it was a fine Sasquatch, but, like, worse than Hitmonkey, worse than Sage. We had the option of putting it into nowhere. That's true. Yes, and this deck is playing Hitmonkey, so we're playing both. Sage is really the slot this is competing with, yeah? And the other facet of this card competing with Sage is that if you're playing Sage in that slot, you get to play Bast as one of your other cards as well. Yes. Yeah, playing Sasquatch means I have to give up Bast, which makes everything else in my deck worse. I might be right to play Collector somewhere else so I don't get, lay Star-Lord in the vault. Sure, good deal. On paper, Sasquatch was better than Sage and Demora. I don't know what kind of papers you read, but they sound a little suspect. How is Sasquatch in non-bounce decks? Kinda been often worse than just like playing 410s, other 410s. I think I'm playing this here to play around Gamora in the middle. For reference, Hitmonkey played into Dark Dimension will count the number of cards I play on turn 6, not the number of cards the turn I put it face down.
I am Iron Man.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gaining 6 here up to 17. Hood puts me to 18. Stogard puts me to 20. Yes, Monkey will also count the cards I played in the Dark Dimension this turn.
Victory.
Yeah, and again, like, I don't know, I just don't feel super accomplished. They were a low collection level. They were a low collection level opponent, probably pool 1. I hope they didn't spend gold to play this. I would feel really bad if that person spent gold to queue into this. Alright, gamers, I'm gonna tap an ad break. We're gonna play some more Sasquatch Bounce when we get back. We're eventually gonna try some other builds as well, but I need to run to the restroom and it's close anyways, so BRB.
Oh, snap.
Zapdo. That's for the entire year. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Gamers! If you are someone who currently has an unused Prime subscription, even if you don't want to use it here, make sure you go and use it somewhere in the next couple of days. Starting on June 3rd, the Prime cuts go into effect and all Prime subs will be worth less money, some of them significantly less. Make sure you take your last couple of bucks out of Danny Bezos' pocket while you still can. Daring Bacon Thief, thanks for the 10 months. So, US and Canada Prime subs will be cut by 10% from 250 down to 225. And Prime subs in other geolocations other than those two, on average, will be worth about $1.09. So getting cut by in half or more. Gosh, there's so much to destroy in our anecdotal sample this morning. Frexistential, thank you for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. The lowest is 9 cents, with the average being $1.09. It is worth noting that Snow Guard is a little awkward with Sasquatch because I kind of don't want to play and replay them here. I guess I do this, and then I get Demon, 2 things, plus this. It doesn't matter that I'm Vibraniuming. I think this is the play. Not you serious? Vibranium is Killmonger proof at least, yeah.
Enough said, Bob.
Our Collector and Bishop are gonna be big boys, and Sasquatch is gonna be a very cheap girl, so we've got that going for us. What's this? This puts Hood back in my hand, plus another. And then this will stay in play. And I likely draw a Vibranium. I think I do this because I want to draw Vibranium. Gexal, thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Unstoppable, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Ooh, them burning Killmonger, so I don't have to worry about it if we take priority here. It's nice for us. That being said, they have a lot of power now. Oh, I miscounted it. I'm not drawing a Vibranium anyways. That's fine. Yeah, they can have Zola Venom, they can have Death. It's tough.
Victory.
You want some context? I'll share this tweet with the class. They're saying it helped that Leech got nerfed. If Leech is a 4/2, Namora gets trashed. Namora had better stats than Sasquatch has now when Leech costs 4. As someone who's played a lot and looked at those stats a lot. What would Sage have been right? Oh, that's a good question, Tated Doc. I think bigger or about the same. Mindscape is actually a solid one for us when we're on Snow Guard, so you get to control whether or not that happens. Yikes. And now, if I want to Snow Guard, not have Mindscape happen, Sasquatch can't be cheaper. So awkward. Snow Guard, Bear, Trigger, Hotel Inferno. No. This will cost 2, so I can play this, and this next turn.
Snap.
I'll snap before they know if Mindscape's happening. Do we just Sasquatch and take their null? They could play their null this turn, chat. They have 6 energy. So this gives me 20 over here, and they'd be at 18 if they Zola the null. This gives me 12 in the middle, so I'm beating this base and I'm beating this base. We lose to them putting 3 here, plus putting 6 here, but that seems unlikely. Stay because we're beating Zola.
Cut off 1 head, 2 more shall take its place.
Squatch was probably better than Sage here. And obviously we had Hit Monkey as well. We've been doing a lot of one-to-one comparisons on Squatch to other cards, but one of the things that's incredibly difficult to gauge in these games is like, without Squatch, we would have Bast in this deck somewhere, and like all of our Mysterios and stuff would be better, yeah? All right, as someone who's been very down on Sasquatch, I'm gonna throw the Sasquatch enjoyers a bone. I am very confident Sasquatch is better than Werewolf by Night inside of Bounce. I think if I were to construct a list of Bounce payoffs and how good or bad they are, I think Sasquatch makes the cut above Werewolf. Honestly, that might be an interesting list to make, unironically. What if we sat down and rated all of the 2 and 3 energy payoffs, like 1 to X for like Bounce style decks? Well, I mean, we'll do that after this infinite run. Is this where I'm at in my life?
I definitely need to change my underwear.
Escaped.
We know they have Venom and Null. I'm gonna give him a cube and go next. One thing I've noticed in my own gameplay when I've been playing Squatch is that Mysterio seems to be a must-have. Yeah, I mean, Mysterio is obviously good with Squatch. So this might be a snap. Although I guess Deadpool and Hulk Buster are scary.
What a game!
Mysterio being a must-have is unsurprising. It's like figuring out Korg is must-have in Dark Hawk. Yeah, I agree, Dark. I agree, Gauss. Not anything to be figured out. I think the biggest kind of question mark in my mind is how many of these other decks playing Sasquatch I've seen where Sasquatch literally only has Mysterio to enable it, and basically all of your other things you can be doing in the deck seem real. You're not making it oh, what's the word I'm searching for? Everything else you can do doesn't make Sasquatch meaningfully cheaper. I think I'm staying. Their draw is good, but ours is okay too. I don't have an X23, so they don't have that much extra energy. I had to say it, gamers. I had to say it.
What a game!
The scary part about the X23 is now they get to Null and Deadpool. And when they could only play one big card or big card plus death, we like have a chance, but I think we're just dead now. And this is again part of the this isn't even a Sasquatch problem. This is a bounce just isn't a super competitive archetype in general problem. Is that anytime, no, they did, this is their step. Anytime your deck has a somewhat, like, it's not like our draw was bad this game, right? Like last game our draw was bad. This game we had Collector, we had Bishop, we did a Sasquatch thing for a reasonable energy cost, and our numbers just aren't at all comparable to 32 power Deadpool plus Null this turn. So it's not even, oh, you got Mobius, so it wasn't good because you got Mobius. It's, oh, even when I played my 312, the other decks that were just like making big numbers made our number look embarrassing.
What a game!
Locations are real mid for us. One, two, three, four. This will be 2. Need to bring the demon up. We don't technically. This is keeping this out is better if I draw Hit Monkey. Might honestly be right to snap them here. Yeah, I probably should have snapped them.
Definitely change my underwear.
I mean, even if they stay here, they're still in a really bad spot, right? Like, obviously not 0% anything could happen, but we're 7 cubes to 2 in high stakes rounds. Sage math. Sage would have been worse than Squatch here because Squatch was 2. 2 10s. 2 10s are good. I'm gonna go on the record stating 2 10s are good. Like to put myself out there. The problem is that it's not a 2-10 in a lot of decks or a lot of situations. A lot of the decks you see Sasquatch being leveraged into, it's like a 4-10. Does Christy know the demons are coming for you? She does not. You got close on spelling Christy, by the way. She's an I at the end. Kristi. Our opponent might have closed the app here.
Victory.
Feel you, opponent. Infinite Conquest do be that way. Totally, it feels like the only thing we've played against an Infinite Conquest so far today is low collection level players and destroy players. I thought you were done with Infinite Conquest. I decided I wanted to touch the stove this month. Sometimes you just want to feel something.
Opponent snapped.
About to get like Killmongered here. She's beautiful. Do do do. Oh wait, the way this works, this Kitty Pride comes back to my hand, not the two over here, yeah? Only two kitties are coming back to my hand. I think it's actually this one and this one. I think we do this, and then these three come back to my hand. Do I just hawk the bar this turn? Yeah, maybe that's better. Just cut them off of being able to do something silly here. That's fair. Gives me more flexibility next turn, too. Yes, this you can hawk on turns 5 or 6 to stop turn 7.
I am Iron Man.
Oh, I do suppose we need to calculate, are we beating Onslaught? Do I just lose to Onslaught? Is that accurate? Onslaught's 28. How much is this? I'm at 14, and then this is 20, and this is 25, and this is 33. Yeah, we beat Onslaught with Monkey.
Victory.
Yes, the Nexus will come back for calculating the winner at the end of the game. I almost wonder if we should snap hands or we have Snow Guard. Seems like that's definitely going to be our stronger setups.
Oh, snap.
In general, I think this matchup's not necessarily great for our archetype because, again, they're one of the decks in the format that, like, makes a bigger number than we do with some consistency. But at the same time, being able to stop their limbo gives us potential in this matchup. God, that's so horrible for us. I guess I do at least have this. Surely this never discards my Snow Guard, yes? I'm gonna do this, and then next turn we'll Swordmaster into Snow Guard, I think is the plan. Snow Guard always gives you Hawk first. Hawk and then Bear.
my mighty hand.
Iron Man plus Mystique is the scary part. Can they Iron Man and Living Tribunal? They can Iron Man Living Tribunal, but not both in the Onslaught path. But I suppose they can Iron Man here Living Tribunal somewhere else? I think I have to leave. They also have, like, pixie randoms, too.
Escaped.
Johnny 5, thanks for the 3/4 of the year. Welcome back. My first infinite conquest with the Mora Scar. Yeah, I did that in weekend missions with that deck. It's fine. Poor Howie. Chile, thanks for the 3/4 of the year. Welcome back. Namora as a card actually has really good stats, so we talked about that a bit today. I was expecting her to be one of the lower ones this month, and she's at the tippy top, which is solid. Got me, I guess. Iron Man Onslaught will definitely get us here. No, I can't stab because we lose to Iron Man Onslaught.
Snap. Victory.
They're leaving anyways, chat. Oh, they couldn't play Iron Man because of Dreamscape. Yeah, good shout. Yes, I should have snapped earlier. I forgot Dreamscape stopped Iron Man. Accurate. think Sasquatch could work well in a pixie deck. I can't think of a single pixie deck that has a problem that theoretically gets solved by Sasquatch. And again, those are the types of questions you always want to be asking yourself. Don't ask yourself, can I shove this card into a deck? You want to ask yourself, what problem do I have and how do I solve it by making this change? Speaking of problems in your life that you can solve by making a change, chat, you know what's problematic? Not being able to communicate with the people around you. And Babbel makes it easy with their scientifically proven methods to start learning languages quickly. If you check them out using my link, you can get up to 67% off of your subscription with them while you start picking up a new language to be able to better communicate with the people around you. I think it's Kitty Pride into here again. Well, this probably wins here. Yeah, and then we like Bishop into Kitty next turn. At the very least, it ties and it cuts them off of an accelerate. The plumber at my house right now is confused. I'm watching someone play video games. You should ask them if they ever watch people play sports ball. Like, usually the answer to that question is yes.
Opponent snapped.
Oh, I don't have Snow Guard in my hand, chat. I don't have Snow Guard in my hand. I think I'm supposed to leave. I think I'm supposed to leave. I hate it. I hate it. I hate how fucking good I'm staying. Our hand is so good. It's so sad that I'm supposed to leave here. I hate everything. Why am I supposed to leave? My hand is so good. Oh, I'm supposed to leave because our deck is shit? Yeah, I guess that makes sense, Twitch chat. It's so sad that my deck is terrible, so we can't justify staying. It's only kind of our fault because we make you play decks that are bad when they release for content. Yeah, accurate. It might be wrong to put Falcon on the right. Oh, Discount Living Tribunal is such a lucky pull. Holy. If I had put Real Mysterio on the right, I probably should have put Real Mysterio on the right. Let's see if we can beat Onslaught. Onslaught here is 8, 11, 18, 22. 22 times 4 is 88. 96. 101. 101 divided by 3 is 34 everywhere.
Behold my mighty hand.
And this is the classic bounce deck problem. Absolutely everything went according to plan for our deck, but this deck is simply not competitive into the other decks that are linear in Marvel Snap. And yes, I should have retreated there when they snapped on 5. We're not just dead. We could maybe scrape it out. With good snapping and retreating, you can outplay your opponent using that mechanic. But just push comes to shove in Raw Games 1, our deck is going to lose this matchup in Raw game count a significant amount of the time. Yes, US Agent is on the giant double-digit laundry list of cards that, US Agent is on the giant laundry list of cards that, is probably better than Sasquatch. In fact, once we finish this conquest run, we're gonna make a list of those. We're gonna pull it up on stream and talk about which cards are better than Sasquatch in that slot. Oh, that's so annoying. This won't be turned off when the winner of the game is calculated with Snowguard chat. I need Nico to roll her location change mode.
I am Iron Man.
Nico! All right. Can we win the game? Can we win the game? Let's say they living tribunal here, yeah? They'll be at 13, 14, 28, 31. They can play another thing. We have priority, so I don't have to worry about Cosmo.
Behold my mighty hand.
What an absolutely apt. I know. Like, I understand that, like, you feel bad or whatever about this, but it really just highlights the core problem with bounce, chat. You have a reasonable, serviceable bounce draw. We even hit an ideal Nico roll there at the end, and it just, like, shows you that this archetype is not competitive in Marvel Snap anymore. It's Sandcastle gets kicked. It gets gone way over the top of super consistently. Like, they've just taken too many numbers away from this deck in too many spots for you to truly, truly keep up. All right. Before we move on from bouncing, I wanna make a list. Let's make a list, gamers. What are all of the bounce payoffs? So, like, we need to run an ad. I'm gonna run an ad break while we populate this, and then we're gonna rank them when we return. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. So there's Angela. There's Collector. There's Elsa. There's Sasquatch. There's Sage. There's Bishop. There's Hit Monkey. What are the big number payoffs for the bounce deck? Are there any others? Mr. Toasty, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. I think U.S. agents a fine inclusion. Yep. Iron Man. I'll include Iron Man, I guess. People do that. Werewolf by Night. Yep. Kitty and Hood are not cards that count to your chat. I'm talking about 2 and 3 energy cards that make you big number. I don't think I would include Bast and Mysterio in these groupings. Yeah, we have Bishop. There isn't a sort alphabetically here, which is funny. Yeah, other honorable mentions are like Dazzler, Darkhawk, Havoc. People play Havoc sometimes. I'm not a fan of Havoc, but people play it. I don't know I have a clean way to do this. It takes a second to put together a tier maker, and I think tier maker still doesn't let me upload WebP files. It's 1995. Let's see. Does work now. Okay, cool. All right, let's grab these. That didn't used to work. Save me some time in the future.
Oh, snap.
Line Space, thanks for the third of a year. Welcome back. P-Man, thank you for the 16 months. If I were to rank payoffs and bounce, I think Angela and Bishop are towards the top. I think he's honestly one of the worst. I think he is. I think he's real bad. I think Collector's probably about there. Not a huge fan of this. I think US Agent is super solid. I think I would put Sasquatch in this tier. Elsa feels like she's a cut above these, I think. I think this does a good job of highlighting kind of my feelings about Sasquatch and bounce. Like if I were to put together, okay, Jeff, these are the payoffs you can play in bounce. How would you rate them? I think this is about how I would rate them. And that's, I want to make it clear. I think any of these cards actually that aren't Werewolf by Night, including Sasquatch, you can put in a bounce deck and it'll be fine and you'll win plenty of games with it. Or such. I know people love shitty sample sizes and statistics. We went 3-3 with one and 3-1 with another. We won like 60% of our games playing Sasquatch bounce. You can win plenty of games with Sasquatch bounce. You're not just asking yourself, okay, can you win games with it? You need to ask yourself, are you having a card that's best in the slot that's where it's at? And in general, I think all 8 of these cards are going to be better most of the time than Sasquatch and bounce. Is my closing feelings. I think bounce is like a B- deck. And if you like it, you can play with and win with it. I love bounce. It hurts me to say bounce isn't great, but it's like B- at the absolute best. Again, when we look at the cards for the month, Sasquatch this is infinite conquest only. I want the ladder for a better rate. This is a 0.05 51%. It's the lowest performing card this month by a solid margin so far. Also, this is another thing that I think is telling about Squatch, talking about her not being good enough inside of bounce compared to the other payoffs you can play. When you look at the handful of decks where Sasquatch is performing well in, all of these decks existed before Sasquatch, and I would probably bet money that they're better off with a different card other than Sasquatch inside of them. I would be incredibly surprised if, similar to talking about this, where I'm like, yeah, it's like the 9th best card I could play. I would assume that most of these are better off with something not Sasquatch in that Sasquatch slot. And as someone who spends a lot of time looking at this data, this win rate is really solid even if the average cubes are only okay. On average, when you look at decks with sample sizes like this, not in the 4 digits, generally speaking, their win rate and average cubes trend downward as the sample size goes up and the general public finds them and gets their hands on them. I think a Hawkeye in bounce. I think Hawkeye is an all-right 1 energy card. I think The primary problem with Hawkeye inside of Bounce is that I've talked a lot about how in Bounce you can't race a lot of decks. So I think it's actually kind of important that your 1 energy cards in Bounce be disruptive. So like this was a viewer submitted build that had only Snow Guard as disruption. We were playing this build that I had put together that notably had Iceman as a way to be disruptive in the 1 energy cards. It was playing Nocturne as an additional way. I really think if you want to do your best to be competitive with this archetype, you need ways to interact. I've even done things like play Korg as a 1 energy disruptive card, even when you're not playing Darkhawk, just because breaking up their draw is a meaningful way for you to beat games. Yeah, Ham, Iceman, Korg. I also think a lot of the decks that go over the top of you are Limbo decks, so Snow Guard is a meaningful source of disruption if you don't have Nocturne. Having some, I think if I was playing Bounce, I definitely want one way to interact with Limbo in my 12.